Here are the main takes from Thinking Fast and Slow. 1. You have two brains, and one is very confident. I know someone who answers questions before you even finish asking them. Confident, immediate, zero hesitation, and somehow wrong half the time. That's because the brain runs on two modes. One is fast, automatic, emotional, and extremely sure of itself. The other is slow, careful, logical, and needs coffee. There's a classic brain trap that shows this perfectly. A bat and a ball cost $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Most people instantly say 10 cents. It feels obvious. It's wrong. The correct answer is 5 cents. That wrong answer doesn't come from being bad at math. It comes from speed. The fast brain jumps in, gives you a neat answer, and walks away like the job is done. The slow brain can fix it, but only if you pause and let it speak. The real danger isn't fast thinking, it's how convincing it sounds. 2. Your brain loves shortcuts. A little too much. Someone I know answers questions so fast it's honestly impressive. You ask, "Is this a good idea?" And before you finish the sentence, he's already nodding like a wise monk. Calm, confident, completely sure. And later, completely wrong. What's happening is simple. The brain hates effort. Real thinking costs energy, so it looks for shortcuts. Instead of answering hard questions, the brain quietly replaces them with easier ones. Is this a smart decision? Becomes, does this feel familiar? Is this person capable? Becomes, do I like them? Once that shortcut answer shows up, confidence kicks in automatically. Everything suddenly feels obvious. The brain assumes the job is done and moves on. That's the dangerous part. When something feels obvious, we stop checking. Fast thinking isn't bad, it's efficient. But left unchecked, it will confidently lead you straight past better answers without even slowing down. 3. Slow thinking feels like work. Because it is. I've noticed something about myself. I avoid slow thinking the same way I avoid cleaning my inbox. I know it's important, but wow, it's exhausting. Slow thinking asks you to reread things, double-check numbers, and worst of all, admit your first instinct might be wrong. The brain is not a fan of that. It's lazy by design. If fast thinking gives a confident answer, the brain is like, great, let's go home. Slow thinking only shows up when you force it to. And if you're tired, stressed, or rushed, it doesn't show up at all. That's why bad decisions love busy days. Slow thinking feels inefficient in the moment. You feel slower, less decisive, less impressive, but it quietly saves you from bigger problems later. Skipping it feels productive until you realize you're spending twice as much time fixing the mistakes you could have avoided by slowing down for just a minute. 4. Confidence is loud. Accuracy is quiet. I know someone who speaks like he's on a TED stage. Calm voice, perfect pacing, slides are minimal, one hand in the pocket. He drops lines like, "What if I told you?" And suddenly everyone in the room feels smarter just by listening. Heads nod, pens stop moving, questions disappear. That's the trap. Confidence feels incredible to the brain. When something is delivered smoothly and calmly, the brain relaxes. It stops checking. A well-polished TED-style delivery feels like truth, even when the idea underneath hasn't been tested properly. The better the presentation, the quieter the doubts. Confidence itself isn't the problem. It's powerful, it inspires, it moves people. The problem is trusting it blindly. Fast thinking hears a smooth talk and says, approved. Slow thinking is the awkward voice asking, wait, does this actually work in real life? Most bad decisions don't start with ignorance. They start with a great talk and zero follow-up thinking. 5. We are all bad at probability. Someone I know is terrified of flying. White knuckles, deep breaths, dramatic sighs, but the same person will happily text while driving like it's a casual hobby. That's not logic. That's emotion dressed up as risk assessment. The brain doesn't judge danger properly. It judges drama. If something is loud, rare, or comes with breaking news music, the brain assumes it's extremely risky. If it's quiet, slow, and boring, the brain ignores it completely. Plane crashes feel scary. Long-term habits quietly wrecking your health or finances? Not scary enough to notice. Your brain is a storyteller, not a calculator. It remembers headlines, not probabilities. Emotional risks feel bigger than they are. Boring risks feel invisible. The danger isn't that we fear the wrong things. It's that we feel confident about those fears. Asking one simple question helps. Is this actually dangerous, or does it just feel dramatic? 6. Loss hurts more than gain feels good. Someone I know will do almost anything to avoid losing. Not a big loss, not a disaster, just the possibility of losing. Offer a deal with a small downside and suddenly it's, let's wait and see. Waiting feels safer, even when it quietly makes things worse. That's because losing doesn't just feel bad, it feels personal. Like the universe pointing at you and saying, yeah, that was your fault. Winning feels nice, sure, but losing sticks. It replays in your head. It gets a soundtrack. This is why people hold on to bad decisions longer than they should. Bad investments, bad plans, bad ideas that clearly aren't working. Letting go feels like admitting you were wrong, and the brain hates that. So it delays, justifies, and hopes things magically improve. A useful question helps break the spell. Am I making this choice for my future or just to avoid feeling stupid right now? 7. First impressions are stubborn. Someone I know made a bad first impression on me, and my brain immediately went, cool, that's all the information we need forever. Even months later, with evidence clearly proving otherwise, my first judgment was still sitting there like an uninvited guest refusing to leave. That's because first impressions anchor hard. The brain loves shortcuts, and anchoring is one of its favorites. The first opinion, the first number, the first vibe becomes the reference point for everything that follows. After that, your brain turns into a defense lawyer protecting its opening statement. New information doesn't get evaluated fairly. It gets filtered, minimized, or politely ignored. This shows up everywhere. Prices feel cheap or expensive based on the first number you saw. People get labeled early and struggle to escape it. Changing your mind feels uncomfortable because it feels like admitting you were wrong. Awareness doesn't fix the bias, but it gives you a moment to pause and ask, am I judging this fairly or just defending my first thought? 8. The superpower is pausing. I know someone who replies to messages instantly, decides on the spot, and then spends the rest of the day fixing the consequences. Speed feels powerful. It feels productive. It also creates a surprising amount of regret. The brain loves fast decisions because they feel decisive, even when they're careless. Pausing sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest skills to practice. That tiny pause gives your slower thinking a chance to step in before confidence locks the decision. Without it, fast thinking runs the show, loud, certain, and often wrong. Pausing doesn't mean overthinking or hesitating forever. It means creating a small gap between impulse and action. Enough time to ask one honest question. Do I actually understand this? In a world obsessed with speed, pausing looks weak. In reality, it's protective. One extra moment can save money, relationships, and a lot of unnecessary stress. If this made you doubt your own certainty, follow for the next one.